Hello and welcome. Those of you that have been watching my videos will know that I am trying to use up some of my existing craft supplies. One of those things that I'm trying to focus on are the pre-made envelopes. So this week I have made this card, which is a top fold card to fit this pre-made envelope that I have, which is 5 1/4 inches square. So I have made this card, which is 4 6/8 of an inch square, to go in that, and the papers on the top that I've decorated that with have come from a pad that I've had, which I bought from the works, which is called It's Time for a Fresh Start. So I thought today we would use some more of the papers from this pad to make another one of these cards, to fit another one of these 5 1/4 inch envelopes. So we'll go ahead and start to do that. So I've pre-cut all of the elements. So I have the card base is again a piece of 280-gram ivory cardstock, which has been cut to 9 5/8 of an inch long by 4 6/8 of an inch wide, and I've scored that at 4 6/8 of an inch, so it folds to a 4 6/8 of an inch blank card, and we're going to have that as a top fold again today. I've taken some papers from that same pad, as I said, and this is going to be the back matte layer for here, so we're going to pop that on. This has been cut to 4 5/8 of an inch to give a small border around the edge, so you can just see the cream card behind it. Cut it a little bit smaller if you like a bigger border. I prefer a small border in this instance. It gives me a bit more room to move the triangles about. So I'm going to set that aside and I'm going to go through what I've done with the rest. So this is what I'm going to be using on top. I've cut this from 2 separate sheets, but you could do it from one sheet. It works perfectly well. So it's again a square of 4 5/8 of an inch in whatever pattern you want to contrast with this. On the bottom edge, mark the center, and in your trimmer or with a knife if you prefer, cut from that center point to this top point, and that's your right triangle, and then do the same again from here to the left, and that makes your left. And then when we put it on the card, we take each of these and we will fold them over like so. So let's go ahead and pop these on. And I'm popping this up flush with the top of the orange, and it will come down just off the orange so that it's at the bottom of the card. I like to offer these pieces up because the top needs to be at the top, this needs to be on this edge, and this needs to be down here. So I like to get an idea of where the angle I need to have it at. So that looks pretty good to me. The good thing about Collall is if you get a little bit of it on some card, as long as it's not mirry, it will rub off with your fingers. So I had a little bit there, and you can't see it. Okay, so that piece is on, and I'm just going to do exactly the same with this one. So as with this card, I want a topper on. So I've taken a topper from the pad. This pad has some sentiments which are toppers in it, and I've cut that out. That is 2 inches by 3 inches, and I've rounded the corners with my corner punch. This corner punch has got 3 different sizes on, and I've used the 10mm. So I wanted to back that onto its own mat layer, so I've cut a piece of 2 1/4 by 3 1/4 inch card which matches the backing on here, and I've rounded 2 of the corners off with the punch, and I'm going to round the other two now. So that will be my topper for the card. Sticking that on with some Collall, and then I'm going to put it up onto some foam. Okay. So this is quite a big topper. I'd like it in the middle of the card from side to side, and I'm going to push it up a little bit at the top, so it's a bit more towards the top than the bottom. Still being able to see this crossover here